Hello, beautiful people. I have been wanting to show you just a supply run that I did for a while now. So I'm going to go through some things, just random things that, you know, walking around this was, I think, a Jerry's Artorama. Yeah, I think so. It was either that or Dick Blick, but most of these things I had already, and I just wanted to get some other colors, but some things are new. You know, I look for stuff that, I don't know, you know, you can play with. And I like to have a pop of pink, so I found this little fluorescent pen. And this brand is Le Pen, made in Japan. So I just picked up two colors that I use. You know, this green and pink. Who knows where they'll show up. And then I did get one more color of the Inktense pencil, the Derwent. These are the ones that you put them down, and then I'll do it now, and we'll talk while it dries. And then you add water and let it dry, and it dries permanently. So the name is really in it, ink. So it's ink, and unlike the various brands of water soluble and watercolor type pencils, this one will dry permanently. So they're fun to use and different things. I'm still learning about them. I got more white because I use so much white, and I got some new colors, even though I always say this to you. I always say you don't need all the colors under the sun. You should make most of your colors, and I do, but I can't help it. Even if it just kind of exposes me to a color that I hadn't thought about or used, that then I can go forward and make. And some colors are just too hard to make, like ivory and off-white. So I already have ivory, but this is Ivory Yellow by Turner. So it's just a little bit darker. Maybe probably has some more red in it, a little bit more yellow, just probably more of the colors. Then I got burnt sienna really just for mixing. I don't use it on its own much, but burnt sienna is great for toning down. Let's see, let me give you an example. If I have a blue, let's say, oh yeah, this will be good. Let's say I have a blue that's just too intense, like this cyan. I'll put some there. Sometimes the Turners can get this like wateryness on the, that's what that one had. You can help that by sort of mixing it like this a little bit first. I notice it's more with the regular gouache than the acrylic gouache, but let's just say that I thought that was, see, I've already got the sienna in my brush, so it's already toning it down. Let's say I thought it was too intense. See how that, just a little bit of burnt sienna, soften that. Complementary color. We'll do that. So burnt sienna is great for that. And then, as I love plums and things, I bought a few of these Japanesque, they call them. Let's see here. I got these. Which ones? Did I just get 3? I think I just got 2 of them. 2 of these Japanesque, and this is Turner's idea of trying to imitate these Japanese, I think they're called mineral paints, but I haven't really liked the ones that I've had. Gosh, I really like that color. I have to remember that. But I thought I'd play with them a little bit more. They're just kind of, because they're supposed to be imitating these, I don't know how to describe it. Not chunky, but certainly very opaque. And this is going to be an exaggeration, but like a sandy feel to them, even though there's no grit. Like it's interesting. But I wanted to give them a chance and play with a couple more colors, and I thought this color is beautiful. So I picked up this, which is probably going to be in Japanese. Oh, okay, it says grayish purple. And then I picked up the enamel. Let's see what that is. I haven't seen these yet. I didn't want to open them up until I opened them up with you. So let's see what, it looks just like a, kind of looks like enamel, doesn't it? I don't know how you can see, if you can see, it's incredibly opaque and just thick. Almost like a chalk paint. And let's see, we already did that one. I was just in this mood, I guess it was fall, and I would look at these browns that I never get. I probably end up using them to mix colors with, but I wanted to try something different. This one's called Gold Orange. I always like to pick up a couple of different things. Ooh, I forgot, that's metallic. Oh my gosh. That's really, it's really coppery and really metallic. You know, it's, let me show you. Can you see that? That's gonna have to be making an appearance. Look at that. Okay. Mustard. I really like actually these colors together. Well, I like these four, and I have a feeling the mustard's gonna fit in. Oh, look at that, that's really more green than mustard. I would call that an olive, not a mustard myself. But it's fabulous. Don't you just love that opaque gouache? Look, these are aqua gouache, by the way, which means, I think I have a video on that, but it means it's a hybrid between acrylic and gouache. It basically means that it has the chalky properties of gouache, but when it dries, it's permanent because they've added acrylic. Yellow ochre, this was just, again, for mixing. It's great to tone down and kind of deepen colors, just warm them up a little bit. So that's mostly for mixing. And then I have gotten a few of these. Turner has hundreds of colors, but it's because they do the regular color line, then they do like the Japanesque. Make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, Japanesque. Then they do these pastels, which I've liked some of them, so I picked up this one, Pastel Olive. Trying to wash my brush out so you don't get the last color in there. Oh, that's yummy. Look at that. That with this. Pretty. Okay. And then they have these lame. This is a lime emerald metallic. I think I did already play with this and I was not impressed. I don't think I'll do, but then after the fact it kind of added some shimmer, so I don't know, it's got shimmer to it. So I think the way you'd use it, it just looks too craft painty for me, but maybe I just haven't found a way to use it. It's sparkly, or as my daughter used to say when she was learning to say that word, farkly. With an F. I'll show it to you. I don't know. Maybe it'll show up somewhere. I'm not sure I like it. Okay, so those are the paint colors. Then I know if you've taken my classes, you've already seen me use these sometimes, these Sonalee abstract 3D liners. And I had 3 colors and I added a couple more. So let's look at this. This is metallic gold. How could I not have already had this? But you can make lines, dots. That's pretty. That's a really pretty gold. It take a while to dry because they literally are 3D. See that? And then I picked up the turquoise. Sometimes you have to give them quite a squeeze. And I don't use these all the time, but they're kind of a fun thing to add. Let's see, I also grabbed this lettering brush. I'm always looking for interesting shaped brushes, and I don't know if you can you see that it's flat and long like a script liner, but it's not round. So it's like a super, super long, narrow, bright, or a flattened out, thicker script liner. So and so they call it lettering, so it probably, you know, like a calligraphy type brush. I probably wouldn't use it for lettering, but you could. I just wanted to kind of see. I think it imitates a calligraphy pen. But I was thinking of it more for, you know, maybe marks like this. Definitely not necessary. Just thought it'd be fun to try. So let's see what else I have here. I have a supplies tab on my website, SuzanneAllard.com. I always forget to mention that, where I have links to a lot of these things either on Amazon or on Dick Blick. And when you purchase them, I get a tiny percentage, which allows me to buy more supplies and review them. Of course, I also sell my artwork on the website. So I also got this, I haven't looked at it yet, canvas paper for acrylic. I saw that it was 110 pound, which is not as thick as I'd like, but I wanted to see what it was like. Because I've been into acrylic paper lately. It has a nice, the one that I have been using by Strathmore has a nice linen finish. Oh, this is really pretty. This has it really, you probably can't see that texture on this side, but it's got a light, it really does look like linen fabric, but a much smaller detail. Let's see, what am I trying to say? The Strathmore acrylic linen is sort of zoomed in and this is zoomed out, so beautiful. And this was inexpensive, I think. I don't think this was very much. I really like that. I'm gonna have to play with that. And this will be great with aqua gouache or acrylic. Regular gouache could sit on top of there, probably, but it wouldn't soak in. Usually if something says acrylic paper, the paint is gonna sit on top rather than soak in the way mixed media or watercolor paper. So something to consider. And then probably my biggest splurge, because they're pricey, was I already have, as you know, the Neocolor 2 crayons, and these are the ones that are water soluble. So let me grab a new piece of paper. So the ones that I have, like I said, are Neocolor 2s, and you can, you know, you make your mark, you wet them, and they can be reconstituted with water as much as you can, scrub as much as you want, or you can just, I don't know if I've done a video on just the Neocolors, or you can just kind of do something like that. You can control how much you rub away your underlying image. However, the Neocolor ones are, and look, they pack them in this nice thing, but they still broke in the suitcase. The tips broke off, but that's okay. They are wax resist crayons. They're not water soluble. So if we do something like this, I have a new class coming out where I use these. Actually, it's already on Skillshare. It's called Mixed Media Fun with Abstract Mixed Media. That's what it's called. Let me get a little bit of paint. We'll just use the yellow ochre. Look how chalky these dried. Love that. Let's get a little bit here and some water and show you how that will not disturb no matter how much I scrub. Well, I suppose I could really scrub, but they're wax resist. And on watercolor paper, it behaves more in a more interesting way because it'll sort of, I don't know, almost bleed away a little bit from the wax. So that's what I did in the class. I show you that. So these, you know, I'll be playing with more, experimenting with. I think that's all I bought this time. But hopefully that gives you some ideas, some things to play with. Just remember, if you do use these liners, I speak from experience, these Sonalee liners that do it last, or I've definitely painted over them. I mean, they're acrylic, so you can, but just know that they take a long time to dry. So like if you set away your painting and everything else is dry on it, but you haven't given that the time, you'll get, you know, see, they take a long time to dry. And sometimes I'll mess them up on purpose. But I've also messed them up by accident. All right, well, happy creating. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a video. I will try to get back to doing them more regularly. Let me know in the comments what supplies you'd like reviewed, because that will give me an excuse to go and buy them. Happy creating.